Hey friends, today is Tuesday, September 8th, and we are going over lesson 1.5, use place value to round. I want you to think about what is rounding? What is an estimation? It's when you don't give me the exact answer, you give me an answer that's close to that. At what place would you use rounding? I know I use rounding when I go to the grocery store and I'm looking at all the items in my cart and I'm thinking, oh, this is about $3. It's really $2.79. This is about $4. It's really $4.25. And I'm adding them in my head. I'm estimating. I'm rounding. I'm not breaking out my phone and using the calculator on my phone. I'm doing an estimate. Do I have enough money? There are other times when you might round. Oh, that movie's about 2 hours long. It's not exactly 2 hours, but it's about 2 hours. And that word about tells us that we're rounding or we're looking for an estimate. So what we're doing is we're saying what that number is closest to. For example, if we said I wanted to round 272 to the nearest 100, and we already know which place the 100 is in, right? Here's the hundreds place. What we're really saying is 272 closer to 300 or is it closer to 200? Well, it's closer to 300 because it would fall after 250. It would be about right here. 272 would fall right about here on a number line. So now visually, you can see that it's closer to 300. So if we rounded this to the hundreds, we would say 272 rounds to 300. All right, let's try another one. How about 4,847 to the nearest hundreds? Okay, I'm looking at hundreds. My hundreds place is ones, tens, hundreds. Here's my hundreds. Okay, so that means I'm looking at 4,800, which is the number I put here. What comes after in the hundreds? 4,800. What comes after 48 is 49, and it's in the hundreds. So I'm going to add 4,900 or 4,900. 1, 2, 3, comma, if I want to put a comma. You don't have to put a comma when you're dealing with just the thousands. Did you know that? Anyway, what's in the middle of what's halfway between 4,800 and 4,900? Well, it would be 4,850. Because 50 is half of 100, right? Just like if you have half of $1, you have 50 cents. So we're going to think, where would 4,847 fall in this number line? Well, it would be right about here. So is it closer to this side or this side? You're right, it's closer to this side. So 4,847 rounded to the nearest 100 is 4,800. Let's look at another one. How about 86,843 to the nearest thousands? Okay, so first let's identify which place or which digit is in the thousands place. So ones, tens, hundreds. 1,000. That's 6 is what we're looking at. All right. So notice that I put everything that's over on this side of it. I put it right here, 86. And all the rest are zeros, 86,000. What comes after 86? 87. And we need to put all the same number of zeros, 1, 2, 3 zeros, because it's in the thousands place. I'm going to run out of room. 1, 2, 3, comma. Okay. And what comes in the middle of 86,000 and 87,000? Well, that would be 86,500. You got it. 500. Now, where would this whole number fall on my number line? Let's make there we go. Well, 86,800 would come after 86,500. So I'm going to put it about right here. Now I can visually see what is it closer to, 86,000 or 87,000? So smart, 87,000. Great. Let's try one by yourself. I want you to use your paper and pencil or whiteboard. I'm going to give you a second. Try this by yourself. Yes, I want you to use the number line. I know you know another way to solve it, but I want you to do this on the number line. and then we'll work through it together. So right now I want you to hit pause on this video. I want you to solve this problem, and then I want you to hit play so we can go over it together. Okay, so you went ahead and solved this problem. You said to the nearest tens. I'm looking at tens. That would be ones, tens. It's looking at a 4. So everything on this side of the number is going to go over here. So I have 8, 6, 8, 4, and I filled in the last digit with a 0. So what's going to come next? 8, 6, 8, 5, because 5 comes after 4, and I need 1 0 as in the ones place. 1, 2, 3, comma. All right, now what goes in the middle? Well, it's going to be this number, and instead of this next 0, it's going to be a 5. So 86,845. Now, would you agree that 86,845 is in the middle of 86,840 and 86,850? It is. Okay, now, where would this whole number fall on the number line? 86,843 would come before 86,845. So, where would we round to? This side or this side? Yes, it's closer to this one. Great work. All right, let's review rounding. I know. You were probably told 0 to 4, you stay on the floor. At 5 and above, you give it a shove. Do you remember that? You were probably told that before. Here we go. So we just talked about this number line. It's the midpoint. If it's 5, if it's right in the middle, mathematically we say we're going to round it up. I think that's important, especially in real life, because if you're at the grocery store and you round it down and it's right in the middle, I'd rather be safe and round up just to make sure I have enough money. If you round everything down, you're not going to have enough money when you get up to the cash register. So anything on this side, see, 6, 7, 8, 9, they're going to round up. 4, 3, 2, 1, we stay down. So 0 to 4, stay on the floor. 5 and above, you give it a shove up to the next number. Let's practice. So here's another way to do that. But I do like you to visualize that number line in your head, because for some of you, you'll go, oh, now I understand. Boys and girls, it's really important in math that you understand why. Because if I ask you why and you say, because my teacher told me to, then you don't really understand the math, and I need you to understand the math. So understand why we're doing things. That's why I showed you that number line. Okay, so let's practice. Rounding 763 to the nearest 10. And this is probably what you learned in 2nd or 3rd grade. I underline the digit in the tens place. Ones, tens. And then I'm going to look to the right. Is 3 a big number? These are my big numbers. Big. This is hard to write with. Whoa. Or is it a little number? Little number on this side. 3 is a little number. It's on this side. So 0 to 4, we're going to stay. That means the 7 and the 6 is going to stay, and everything else becomes a 0. So think about that number line. 763, was it closer to 760, or is it closer to 770? You're seeing it now, right? Yeah, it's closer to 760. Great. Let's look at the next one. 6,243 to the nearest 100. Okay, so first 100. Ones, tens, 100. Okay. Now we're going to look to the right. That 4. Is it a big number or a little number? Remember, if it's from 0 to 4, we stay. So we're going to stay. It's a 4, right? 6,000. The 2 is what's going to stay. Everything else becomes a 0. If you picture that number line, 6,200 is closer to 6,243. Is it closer to 6,200 or closer to 6,300? Yes, it's closer to 6,200. All right, let's try the next one. I'm going to change my pen color just because. Why not? To the nearest 1,000. Okay, so ones, tens, hundreds. 1,000. My voice is going. So we're going to underline the 7. We're going to look to the right. It's a 6. Is the 6 a little number or a big number? Yeah, the 6 is a big number. So 0 to 4, we stay on the floor. 5 and above, a 6 is above 5, right? It's on this big side. We're going to give it a shove. So we're going to actually shove that 7. He's going to go boom to the 7, and the 7 goes whoo, and he pops up 1. So we have 8, and the 7 popped up 1, remember? So he's going to, that 8, 7 turns into an 8, and everything else turns into a 0. You got it. You are so smart, my friends. Let's try this one together. Round it to the nearest 10. Okay, so 1's 10s. Here's my 10. All right, let's see. I'm going to make an arrow to the right. 0 to 4. Well, that 2 is a little teeny tiny number, so that means the 2 doesn't get pushed up. It stays. So 153. Remember? Then when I see the comma, I say 1,000. You got it. 820. Remember, this 2 was too little to push it up, so it stays, and then everything else is a 0. 153,820. Oh, all right. Let me erase that page. Let's do. Tell the place value position to which each number was rounded. Okay, this is a little bit trickier. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Let's do this. There we go. All right. How about this? 756 to the nearest to 800. What place was it rounded? Well, if these two became zeros, it was rounded to the place right in front of the 0. It was rounded to the hundreds, right? 756 rounded to the closest 100 is 800. So I'm going to write hundreds. And if you want to write out the word, you can do that too. Either one is good. How about this next one? Let's go with green. 5,223 to the near to 5,000. Well, these are all zeros. This one is not. So we must have rounded to the ones, tens, hundreds, 1,000. So we rounded to the thousands place. This is hard to write with this. I'll get better at it. How about this one? Let's do this one in red. 47,146 to 47,000. So these are all zeros. I must have rounded to this place right here. Ones, tens, hundreds, 1,000. So this one is also rounded to the nearest 1,000. All right, what color should I do next? Let's see. Let's do, how about an orange? Okay, whoa, I made a mistake on this. So we're going to skip this one. Add it to the list of Meucci mistakes for today. All right, take out your math book, friends. Let's open to page. Let me see what page this is. Do you know what page it is? Maybe you do. Maybe you do. Can you figure it out faster than I can? Rounding. Use place value to round, lesson 5. I look down at the bottom of so I look down here in my math book. I look down at the bottom and it tells me lesson 5. Do you see that? Lesson 5, use place value to round. I know it's a little bit blurry, but that's how I know what page. Okay, this is page 38. Friends, page 38. Turn to page 38, and we're going to do these guided practice problems together before you go off and do your independent practice. Okay, so if you need another moment to get your math book out, you need to go grab a pencil. You're not to the page, hit pause, and when you're ready, click play. All right, here we go. Round to the given place value position. So I'm going to round to the thousands. So ones, tens, 100, 1,000, 1,000. So I'm going to round here. So I'm going to look to the right. But first I say, well, 2,221. Is it closer to 2,000 or 3,000? So you thought through it, right? But if we need to use the trick here, we look to the right. 2 is a little number, so it's not going to give it a shove. The 2 in the thousands place will stay, and everything else becomes a 0. All right, let's look at number 2. We're rounding it to the 10,000s place. So that's ones, tens, hundreds, 1,000 to 10,000. Here we go, 10,000s. So 70,000, is this number closer to 70,000 or 80,000? Do you have your guess? Well, let's look to the right and see. Oh, 8's one of those big numbers. It looks at the 7 and it goes, ha! It gives it a shove, and the 7 goes, whoop! And it pops up to an 8. That 7 turns into an 8. And then everything else turns into a 0. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. 1, 2, 3. I know that doesn't look like 0. 4. And then I can go 1, 2, 3, comma. Okay, number 3. We're rounding it to the nearest 100,000. So ones, tens, hundreds, 1, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000. We're going to round here. So 500,000 or 600,000. Which one is this number closest to? Let's try the trick and see if we're right. Oh, an 8. An 8 is a big number. And the 8 looks at the 5 and he goes, huh! And the 5 goes, whoo! And it pops up to a 6. Great job. Okay. And then everything else becomes a 0. So how many zeros do we need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. 1, 2, 3, comma, 600,000. That makes sense. 581,203 rounds to 600,000. You got it. All right. You are ready to do your work. Okay. So, remember, if you're in the ready group, you're going to join me back on the conference call. If you're in the steady group, you're going to go and do your work on your own. These assignments are in Schoology. And if you're in the go group, you're going to do this go assignment. If you need another moment to look at this assignment, you can click pause. But if you're going in the go group, you're going to do this workbook assignment and then enrichment page 7. And then make sure you do your exit ticket. So friends, with 5 minutes left of math class, so that would be 1:55. I want you to check your clock on your Chromebook. At 1:55, I want you to stop working on your math workbook and go to Schoology and do your exit ticket. That's super important that you do your exit ticket. And then if you finish early, you can do your exit ticket and then get on SumDog. Remember, I need to change the order of these tasks. All right? So you can work on SumDog, or you could do the math challenge on our Schoology page. So best of luck. If you need some more help or you want to do these workbook pages together, come join me on the live call. Otherwise, I'll see you when our next class period starts. Bye.